Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a little bit more of a simple video. I'm going to do an eyebrow tutorial, and eyebrows are kind of a personal preference for me. Some people like theirs a little thicker and some people like them a little thinner. So the first thing I'm going to do is I like to go in with my powder, okay, and just my beauty blender. And I'm going to go ahead, and what I like to do is I like to set right where my eyebrows are first. And what this does for me is this just gets rid of any excess oil, grease, anything that's going to make that pomade not stick very well. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go in with my Milani Dip Pomade in the shade 5. This shade is a little dark for me, but my hair used to be a lot darker. And I just used the little brush that it comes with, and I'm going to go ahead and dip into that. And what I like to do personally is I'll start in the middle of my brow when I have the most product on my brush, and I just kind of work that into the shape that I like. I've been letting my eyebrows grow out, so they're a little crazy, but they're also a lot easier to shape without putting as much product. So what I'm going to do next, when I have just a little bit of product left, is that's when I'm going to go ahead and hit this front like that. That way this isn't too dark. It doesn't look horrible. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Alright. And I do plan to keep doing videos, makeup videos. Any other videos you guys want to see, I could maybe do a couple hauls. Sheen hauls. I don't know if that's how you say it. It might be something else, but yeah. So there's that bottom line. Alright. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the top. What I do is I just dip this in, same thing. And then what I do for my top is, again, I'm going to start in about the middle and just kind of lightly fill in the spots to make the shape that I want. So there's this. This is how I like my shape personally. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take that pomade and we're going to go ahead darker on the end and just fill in between those two outlines. A little bit lighter here in the front. Same thing on this side. Like I said, personal preference on how thick or thin you want them and how dark you want them. If you want to have dark brows, then you have dark brows, girl. No one can judge you. And then I'm going to take my spoolie and brush with the hairs. So like my hairs right here, go like this, and then I'm going to go down right here. It's a little dark. I go against the hair also, just to kind of spread the pomade on the top as well. Alright, so there's that. So my next step, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to conceal my brows. So I'm going to go in with my CoverGirl concealer. Yeah, the shade's a little light, but it's okay. And I'm going to go in with my flat brush. I think I got this brush from Dollar Tree. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and line the bottom of that. this, you can skip this step if you want. Sometimes if I just do my eyebrows, I skip this step. And what I do instead is I will take a makeup wipe and clean the bottom and top of my eyebrow with a makeup wipe instead of concealer. Okay, now I like to take that concealer and drag it down with my brush a little bit. I don't know if you guys can hear that. My little sister playing music. I like to do in between my eyebrows too. I see a lot of people skip that step, and if you don't like that step, then you do you, I guess. I just feel like it makes it look more natural. So now you're gonna do the same with the top. I rarely conceal my top of my brow just because I don't do foundation very often. Because I always have a hard time with foundation. So sometimes I find if I do concealer on the top of my brow, it's really noticeable just because I don't do that foundation layer. Okay. Now you're gonna do the same thing on this side. Another thing is my eyebrows aren't always perfectly even. They're rarely ever perfectly even, actually. But that's okay, because you can always go back and fix it. So like for me, I would prefer this arch just a little bit higher to match the other one. So I'm just gonna go back in with my pomade and just make that arch just a little bit bigger. And I'm going to conceal again because I messed up. Alright. So there is that. I know it looks a little rough right now. So what I like to do, the same thing I did on the bottom, I'll take that extra concealer and just kind of drag up a little bit. Okay, now your next step is blending. So I take my beauty blender and I like to spray my beauty blender with rose water. I'm just gonna spray it. Take that. I'm going to get under that brow. A lot of people use brushes for this step. If you want to use a brush, then you can do that. I ain't here to tell you guys what to do. I'm just here to show you how I do it. Because makeup is something that I really enjoy. It has nothing to do with how I think I look to other people. It's something that I like to do. So there is that. Now what you can do, and I do this sometimes if I feel like it looks a little bit oily kind of. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab a makeup palette with a brown or black shade. And I'm going to take an angled brush and I'm just going to take that shade and just pat it a little bit right over the pomade, just because I don't like how oily that can look, if that makes sense. So there's this. Alright, there you go. And I always like to take my spoolie and just brush out one more time after I conceal, not too aggressively because you don't want to smear that brow, but you just want to brush it out to make it a little more natural. Alright, there you go. That's your brow look. And what I like to do, if I'm not going to do any more makeup, is my next step is going to be to add some highlight. Now this is actually eyeshadow thing, but it's really bright, so I use it for highlight. And I'm just gonna go right in my arch and go ahead and add just a little bit of highlight to bring out that definition. Alright, and there is that. Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to my channel. If you haven't seen my other video yet, feel free to go check that out.